Mm. Hello, hello, and welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Pick Three at a Glance. Oh gosh. Hi, Catherine. How are you? Glad to see you join us today. Alrighty. Uh, welcome everyone. Hey, Carl, I'm live, brother. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today, subject is going to be that everybody. There's some question to whether the numbers are random. And with me tracking the numbers for 30 years, I know the numbers are random. Um, there's no rhyme or reason how these 1,000 numbers are going to fall out at any time. And the way I know that is like I said, tracking on paper for almost 15 years, and 30 years really, because I still track on paper. I don't use no calculations or anything because I'm tracking the actual 1,000 numbers with the Pick Three at a Glance strategy, where I can track the actual 1,000 numbers and break them up to track the front pair, back pair, single digits, and single pairs. And those numbers, there's nothing, there's no tic-tac-toe, no date sum, no root sums, no grids, nothing, no algorithm's going to tell you which of those 1,000 numbers are going to fall. As I said before, you have to work with the law of average to see what's going on with the numbers. And the only way you're going to see how the law of average actually works, is tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. The only way you're going to see that, per se, a pair hasn't failed in 120 days is tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. The only way you're going to see a single number that hasn't failed is tracking the actual 1,000 numbers and using that to your advantage. In all the states, all the numbers run different. There's no one size fit all strategy. Nowhere with 1,000 numbers running randomly. Pick three is the only one that you can put pen and paper and strategize with. You can't do it with pick four. It's 1 in 10,000 odds. You can't do it with pick five. 1 in 100,000 odds, and they got a pick six, and I ain't really tripping off how many odds with that because I wouldn't even attempt it. Pick three has been good to me, and that's the only reason I stick with it and I use it, because I can track and see what's going on with it. And also, the way it's set up with Pick Three at a Glance, I can teach anybody my system in a matter of an hour. If they're, depends on how much knowledge you have and what you want to learn. But it's relatively simple. You're tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. I have everything numerically organized where there's no guesswork with the numbers. Once you get the central strategy down and tracking the numbers, get your data, because you're going to have to go back and get the real, track the real data. That was beneficial to me. When I put this Pick Three at a Glance strategy together, I went back a whole 2 years, tracking all the numbers up to the present month that I was in. And that let me know exactly what was going on with those numbers for 2 years. Now I realize you don't have to go back 2 years to know what's going on with the numbers. You will have to go back pretty much a year's in data to see how long it takes the numbers hit, and how the numbers work. Basically, if you're going back, and I will post, I do post Illinois data with the lottery post. I use the lottery post. I use their free, and they give you everything free for a year on the data. Anything other than that, you have to become a member. But all you're going to need is a year's data, like going back to January and tracking your data on the sheets, bringing it up to date. And then anything working with the law average, you lessen in the pools of all the numbers that have played for the year. And with my techniques and strategies, then you can pull out the numbers for your state that's best to play and how to win. And I got receipts showing that in Illinois, I've only been here a couple of months now, and I've hit, and I posted, and I get emails from the lottery saying I've hit because I play online in Illinois. So I know a lot of people ask a lot of content creators about showing them proof of winnings. I have no qualms with that. I don't show all my winnings. It's not necessary. The winning is going to be, for me, is you learning the strategy and winning for yourself. I don't have anything to prove to anyone, because once they start using the strategy, they'll see that everything I've said was correct. And I've learned from my subscribers, because I learned something that was really valuable. She told me about the zeros in all my numbers, which I never really noticed that, and that was powerful. So when I do a rundown on the winning number to find the base numbers, I could automatically go to that column. I used to try to figure out which number it was and all that to see what column it would be under. I also had a app that I had for everybody to have to use, but you don't need any of that now. All you need to know is what the base number is, and see all of them got zeros in them. Find the number with the zero, and you automatically know the column. So that was pretty much a great hurdle to overcome. So, but I just want, like I say, I take 22 numbers, do those 1-1 rundowns on 22 numbers. They run randomly, 22 numbers, do the 1-1 rundown on those 22 numbers, and I have all 1,000 numbers and their possible combinations. What you're looking at here on this sheet is what it is, with the workouts. And then I set up another strategy for tracking the single pairs. I had no idea what was going on with single pairs. So I put together strategy number 2, which is a triangle sheet here, triangle. So if you refer to anything when you do anything in the comments, contact me. Refer to strategy number 1, which is the master sheet here, with all the numbers, the doubles and the singles and the triples. Then triangle strategy number 2. Say strategy number 2. I'll know exactly what you're talking about, and then I can explain it. And then this is strategy number 3. Is the single digits. Call this the single digits. And then we have a strategy number 4. I'll just go ahead and show it to you. Strategy number 4 is the front pair and the back pair. And see how I've circled everything and kept everything up for the year. That's what you're going to need. You're going to definitely have to be organized. You can't be having all kind of different tic-tac-toes and multiple algorithms and rundowns and workouts scattered everywhere and trying to win. You have to be organized. I say OPPB. Be organized, be patient, be persistent, stick with a budget. Stick with your budget. Play responsibly. And the main thing, if you're not playing, keep tracking. That way you know when you get ready to play for your state or wherever you want to play from. You can play online. You can always go back to the numbers that you know are best for you to play and win, instead of starting all over from scratch and not having most of the stuff you do. You don't have no idea what's going on with the numbers anyway. From me watching I watched every YouTube video. I know every YouTube creator. I know I forgot, maybe 20 or 30 books that I bought. Um, and I used to do all those things. I studied this stuff thoroughly. So, and I know this channel, sooner or later, people will find it and return to it because it's solid as a rock, the strategy that I have. So I'm going to get to the winning number that came in, which was 481 in Illinois' evening draw. Okay. But this here, with everything I have, works for your state the same exact way. See what I'm saying? I ain't got to tell you to do something different for your state and or pattern when they come up, a different pattern for every number. That's too confusing. Too confusing. And that doesn't work like that. All the numbers run randomly. No rhyme or reason to why or how those numbers are going to come out. So you have to track to win big, to hit big. Now, I mean, then you can hit luckily by luck, but luck runs out, like I tell everybody. Luck runs out. Now, what we have here, I'm going to do the 481. Oh, let me grab another pen. This one's too big. I'm going to do the 481 and do, I keep grabbing the wrong pens here. I'm going to do the 481 and do the 1-1 rundown on it. 481. And you do the 1-1-1 rundown. That's the only rundown you're going to have to worry about doing and working and catching up on everything. Okay? Now, this here is, with this rundown, you're going to add 1 to each one of these numbers. The thing about this here, doing this rundown, they can make this top number, the rundown number, I'll just call it the rundown number, any number they want it to be to make a rundown. And the one they use good is 1, 2, 3. They know they use 3, 6, 9. They can make it any of the 1,000 numbers that they want and call that an algorithm or workout or whatever they want to call these strategies. They really all are called algorithms. But they all give you all kind of different numbers of 10 when you do the rundown with them. But like this here, I'm going to add 1 to the 4, you get 5. 1 to 5, you get 6. 1 to 6, you get 7. 1 to 7, you get 8. 1 to 8, you're going to get 9, but you're going to get 10, but it's really, you're going to only use the 0 because in a lot of math, you only want to use one digit to add. Then you're going to get 0. To 1 to 0, you get 1. 1 to 1, you get 2. 1 to 2, you get 3. And then 1 to 3, you're going to get 4. Same number at the top, you're going to get at the bottom, you get at the top, you add it correctly. Then you're basically just counting straight down. You're going to do 9, and you're going to add 1 to 9. 1 to 8, you get 9. 1 to 9, again, you're going to get the 10, but you just use the 0 and just count straight down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then here, again, you're going to count 1 to 1, you get 2. And you're just going to count straight down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and 1. Same number that you got at the bottom, you got at the top, you add it correctly. That's why I use this, because see, if you use all these different numbers here to try to catch, all you're going to get is a whole bunch of these numbers here, and you got to do a whole lot of adding in your head, and you're going to make mistakes. And even when you get through doing all that, you don't know nothing about none of them numbers you're playing if you ain't tracking. You don't know nothing about them to win. And ain't no other rhythm, ain't no tic-tac-toe, ain't no date sum, ain't no grid, no flip, no mirror gonna tell you how to use these numbers. It just ain't gonna happen. Certain numbers don't bring certain numbers. They don't happen. Numbers traveling from state to state ain't telling you what number gonna come to your state. The only thing gonna tell you is what you dealing with your own actual numbers in your own state. Period. I'm just gonna be keeping it real, y'all. All this tic-tac-toe, they some grids and stuff, they just misleading y'all. And I ain't saying you're gonna be hitting overnight. And you can get I've hit 4 days and 5 days in a row, yeah. But I knew why I was carrying the numbers, because the numbers lined it up. And I had my system and I knew what was going on with the numbers. That's the only way you're gonna know is you tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. And it ain't that difficult with the Pick 3 Gas strategy. It's not that difficult to track them. You have to stop. We have to stop. I want everybody to win. I want everybody to get in one circle. We can't get in there working hard and not smart. And them tic-tac-toe, they sums, grids, root sums, all they doing is got you working hard but not smart. You can't work no smarter than tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. That's all I would say. You can't work no smarter than tracking the actual 1,000 numbers, y'all. And you'll see how the numbers, how they run, how they work. The mechanisms of the actual numbers of your state. Because like I say, all the numbers are going to run different in all the states. The top number's going to run different. The morning number's going to run different from the bottom numbers, the evening numbers. An evening number is not going to bring you a midday number, tell you what a midday number is. A midday number is not going to tell you what an evening number is. Sorry, y'all. It's not going to do it. The numbers are random. There's no rhyme or reason to how those numbers going to fall every day, other than tracking them and working with the law average. And that's a small percentage of that you're going to get. Because the law is not set up for you to win, it's set up for you to lose. It's a small percentage for you to get. So these here, if I didn't know what I know, would be meaningless if I'm not comparing it to all of the 1,000 numbers. This every time you do a rundown, it's meaningless if you have nothing to compare it to, which is the actual 1,000 numbers. It's meaningless. So with this 481, like I said, I take 12 numbers, well, 22 numbers, and I do the 1-1 rundown on those 22 numbers, which I call base numbers, and I have all 1,000 numbers and their possible combinations. As we know, all singles can come 6 different ways, doubles can come 3 different ways, and triples can only come 1 way. Okay? There's no other way they can come out of the 1,000 numbers. So what we have here with this sheet here is the sheet that I put together, which I call the master sheet here with the 1,000 numbers. Okay. Now, on the top here, which I call the base numbers that I came up with, is the 012, the 013, the 014, the 015, the 016, the 017, the 018, the 024, the 025, the 026, the 027, and the 037. And all you have to do if you want to get the 720 of those numbers is do the 1-1-1 rundown on these numbers I just called off, make your 12 columns, and you got 720 of those numbers that you'll be able to look at a glance and know what's going on with them with no problem. Okay, now, or you can PDF, email me and I'll send you the sheets already organized and set up. Now, what you're looking for is that 481 that came in and what we did the 1-1 rundown off of. You want to know which one of these columns or base numbers that 481 is under. That's what you're doing here. Now, so we got the 481 right here. One of these base numbers for the singles, which is the 3 different numbers, will always be in the rundown. One of these top base numbers will always be in the top in the rundown. It might not be in the same form because you know these can come 6 different ways depending on how the number fall is going to line up with the way that number is. So what we have here is the 481. So all these numbers here have zeros in them. Okay? The base number. So your numbers on this rundown going to have a 0 in it for the base number. So I know, and you'll be able to at a glance, that the 603 is not one of the base numbers. This 047 is not one of the base numbers. Here it is right here. This 370 is the base number. And here it is. This 037, that's going to be 037. All you're going to do is go down that column with the 037 and find that 481. And there it is, directly under the 037. It's 148. Bam, you're done. Okay? Now, the thing to realize, like I said, all these numbers, it can come 6 different ways. Like here. Okay. They call it combo, box, or whatever, but this 481 could have came 481 like it did. It could come 418. It can also come 148. It can come 184. It can also come 814. Or it can come 841. That's what they call boxing combination on a number. Boxing your numbers or comboing your numbers. Of the 1,000 numbers. See, all these are different numbers of the 1,000 numbers. That's all. And that's all of them that's going to be in that 1,000. So anyway, if you box it, any way that this 148 come in, you'll automatically win out of the 1,000 numbers. But if you playing it straight, if you playing it straight like this 481, you have to win it exactly. The jackpot is 481. And a lot of people call it insurance, or they be backing up their number when they box it or combo it. So anyway it come out, if they can't figure out exactly how it's going to come out, then they'll back it up by boxing it. My strategy and skills that I try to set up with everybody, we try to figure out how to hit the number straight because to hit the jackpot. But I still would say back it up. But with picture at a glance, I'll show you how to focus on hitting your numbers straight. Okay. Now, here, like I say, you got 10 different numbers. And if you're not tracking, you don't know what's going on with these 10 different numbers. I don't care what rundown they use. I don't care what algorithm they use. I don't care what numbers you come up with. If you don't know what's going on with them 1,000 numbers, you're playing a loser's game. You're playing a loser game. As simple as that. I don't care how much time you put in it. You're going to be playing a loser game if you not have something where you can track all 1,000 numbers. So we go back to the sheet here and see this 037. Any way any one of these numbers come, it's going to change the way the 370 is going to be. Same numbers here, and the 037 is the same number, but anytime you change any top number, all the rest of them going to change positions. That's why you have to find the base number in the rundown so you know what column is in for any number. And the only other thing that could happen is if the base number is the actual winning number up here, one of these numbers, there's other 1,000 numbers come in, then you would actually mark off the base number itself. And a subscriber showed me that because she had did the rundown and say, Terry, the base number, I can't find the base number in the rundown, but it was the actual base number. So I told her just circle it off or mark it off. That's the only thing you'll have to be contingent with, is remembering that the base number itself could come in and you just mark it off. It might not come in like this is 024 here. It could come 420, or it could come any of the 6 ways it can come. It could come 042, or it could come 204. But all these, they're the same numbers, just in the 6 ways they can come. And then here is the doubles. Right here. And they have the same thing on the doubles. You got 10 of them. You got 001. Make sure you can see here. And these are the doubles part of the master sheet. You got 001, 002, 003, 004, 005, and triple zeros. Then you have 011, 022, 033, and 044. All right? Those are the base numbers for the doubles. And then the 000 is the base number for the triples. So with these here, like I said, with the singles, you got 720 of the singles that you're looking at a glance. And with these doubles here, you got 270 numbers that you're looking at, plus the 10 with the triples, okay, gives you 280. So your 280 and your 720 equals 1,000 numbers. 1 in 1,000 odds. Okay? Now, out of those 1,000 numbers, I don't care what you do, every year you ain't going to get but 365 of them for the whole year. It's only one win. And that's going to be every day. Out of those 1,000, you're going to eliminate one of them. Just one. So that's why it's imperative that you realize that you're only going to get about 30% of the numbers of those 1,000 every year. And then only that, from my tracking, it takes almost 3 years for all those if you got a piece of paper that's got all 1,000, which I do have, and I have used, got all 1,000 numbers on it, and every day you mark one off that comes in, or whatever draw. You got more draws. It used to be you only had one draw. On each draw, a different sheet of 1,000 numbers. And you mark them off as they come exact off that 1,000 sheet. It's going to take you 3 years to mark every one of those numbers off. Because you're only going to get a third of them. It's going to take you 3 to 4 years because some of those numbers going to repeat. See what I'm saying? They're all random. They are random. They are random. Ain't no rhyme or reason. The only thing you can do is lessen the pool of these numbers as you marking them off and knowing what's going on with them. So you ain't trying to play all 1,000. You following and tracking and working with the law average. You playing the numbers that are left. You need to know what numbers have came so you know what numbers to play. That's how you win. That's how you win. Okay. Now, let's go back to my other strategy of single pairs. Once I came up with that strategy, I still felt something was missing. I didn't feel that it was complete. Well, I knew it wasn't complete because I wasn't winning as much. That's all I can say. I knew something was wrong with my strategy. So I say, okay, so far I know about every number that falls. I need to know about every pair on their numbers that hasn't failed. So what I did, I came up with this triangle here. It was an idea. I say, okay, it's got to be a way to track pairs because I hadn't seen nothing that tells you how to track pairs. Not before me. So I said, okay, I'm gonna do 0, 1, 0, double zeros, double one, double twos, double three, double fours, double five, double six, double seven, double eight, and double nine. I say, now I got that out the way. I should be able to come up with some way to figure out how to get all the pairs. So I just said, okay, I got the zeros. So I run 0 and 1 all the way down to 0 to 9. Then when I got to 9, I say, I'll go up here because I know it ain't no 10 gonna be 10. It'll be this O1 is 10. Kind of, I'm trying to tell you how I came up with this thing, but I said, oh, this O1 covers the 10, so I said it got to be 12, and so I said I go down 12, and when I get a 19, I'll come back up here 19, and then I say, okay, 19. I got 22. Then I did 23. Then I went 24 on down, and then I went to 33 and 34 on down till it ran out, and then I just kept doing it. And then what I did every time the numbers came in, I'd see if I could mark off the pairs, and I knew I was onto something with this strategy. Just like I said, the 418 that came in, you're going to mark off the 14. You're going to mark off the 18, and you're going to mark off the 48. Okay. So the object of this is any pairs that you don't mark off, you want to take over to the next month, because working with the law average, you will they are balanced themselves out. They'll catch up. So 9 out of 10, one of those pairs, that pair start coming in and following month. So you won't be guessing what pairs, you'll know what pairs. Okay. Now we just hit the 564 just the day before yesterday. Because see this, well, I'm trying to keep in mind when I say opposite numbers. This 01 and 56 is opposite numbers of each other. Neither one came out last month, so I knew one or the other had to come. That's how I play. I knew one or the other had to come. And my next one is 04 and this 59 hadn't came. Okay. And it came 659 the first time it came, I hit it, and then it came 564 and I hit it. Because I knew these numbers opposite each other. And working with the law average, I know how to play them. I ain't guessing how to play them. I know how to play them because I done seen how they play from tracking. And if something like this don't hit in that month, I'm reading the month, I know that next month one of them more than likely sure to come in. And see with this here tracking, also I realized that 38 pair hadn't filled for 128 days. This is what I'm talking about. So you played a number with 38 in it. 38 didn't show up for 48 days. The 38 pair. I ain't talking about a single back and front number. The pair itself didn't show up. That's what I'm talking about. That's why you have to track 30. So I picked it up when I hit. I always got a bucket list of numbers, an idea of numbers that I'm going to play when I win. So I picked up that 38 because it was pretty much past the law average, and 338 came in, and 883, and I knew they hadn't failed. So you're gonna know what's going on with your numbers using the chart. You won't be guessing what's going on with numbers. You'll actually know what's going on with your numbers. Okay, that's something I'm talking about. Now here I came to build up on winning better. I said, okay, single numbers, they track single numbers, and which is understandable, and saying cold single numbers. And that's kind of understandable when a number ain't played in a while. But I wanted to know what position that number would be in as a code number. Okay. So I said I'll make 3 columns for standing for the, pick 3 number from 0 to 9. That'll cover all the individual numbers. And when a number come in, like that 481 that came in, I'll mark off the 4 on the front, the 8, in the middle and 1 on the end. That way, any number, see right here automatically, I know ain't no zeros hit for the month yet. And today is what, the 11th. See, at a glance, I know what I'm looking at all times. What other thing is there anyone ain't hit yet? Okay. Now say the whole month go by and don't know zeros fall with no number. Automatically don't put nothing the next month, put zeros with any number I'm playing. You wouldn't know that just doing the tic-tac-toe, date sum, root sums, flips, mirrors, and multiple different algorithms they have out there if you're not tracking the actual 1,000 numbers and what position they're in. So what I do, if whatever number I don't mark off, I'll underline it and carry it over to the next month. So I know, just like I did here with this double zeros, I'll underline any of the numbers that don't play. So I'll know each month how long that pair has it came out. Because I make one of these sheets out every month. And I transfer any numbers that didn't hit, highlight them or however you want to do them, until the next month. Because I know when you start tracking, you'll see that they'll come in or not come in. Because with this one here, again, sevens, and it's hard to believe a lot of this stuff until you actually see it. That's why it's so complicated for you to hit if you don't see what the numbers are doing. Sevens then hit with no number for 2 months. Who would have thunk it? I mean, 2 months, almost 2 months and a half. When I seen that, and I really don't play triples unless, usually I only play triples toward November and December, if no triple has failed for the whole year up to then. Because triples are harder to hit and they don't pay no more than any other number. So I don't just burn my money up on triples, period. But when I realized, and you'll see stuff like sevens didn't hit with no number, I know sevens had to hit with some number the next couple of months or next month. So I loaded up on all the sevens. Triple sevens, 7-7 front, 7-7 back, and I wheeled all the sevens. That's how you do it. You'll see stuff like this if you're tracking your actual numbers in your own state. Because there's no one size fit all, no one size algorithm, no one size tic-tac-toe, no one size pattern that's going to work in my state going to work for your state. And if it is a pattern, you ain't going to know it if you ain't tracking to see what's going on with all 1,000 numbers, which I doubt it. All them pattern, no pattern works for all states. That's why I don't list numbers for all states. That's why I don't play numbers for all states. That's why I don't give people numbers for all states. I give you these workout sheets on purpose so when you do the work, I can help you. But I know what it takes to find these numbers. And it ain't no tic-tac-toe, no date sum, no grid, no flip, no multiple rundowns, my birthday, my home address, my card plate, my sister's birthday, my brother's birthday. I don't even play my birthday unless I got a reason to play it. Period. I don't play nothing unless I done worked it out on this sheet. And then I stick with my budget on how I want to play them. So I hit the sevens like that. I hit the 38 like that. That's just example of some of the numbers I won and how I won them. Okay, and then when you think about the beauty of it, it took a lot of things off of me because when my numbers didn't come in, I could make another plan. I could alter my plan to the numbers. And I wasn't upset because I know I'm working with the law average. I just stay on my numbers. I play a number for 90 days because I know it takes 90 days for these numbers to roll out. Or better. I just told you this 3-8 pair didn't come out for 128 days. And then I pretty much, once they come out, I know how to play them back, and I stay with them because I know they probably going to hit a couple more times because they went past their law average. Okay? Now, that's strategy. So far we covered strategy 1, strategy 2, and I told you I won on that one, and I won on this one. I went on this one. This is strategy number 3. So when you talk to me or put something in the link as you trying to study and learn the picture at glance strategy, tell me strategy number 1. Strategy number 2 is the pairs. Strategy number 1 is the master sheet with all 1,000 numbers. 2 is the single pairs. One is the single digits and what placement those single digits are in and how to use it. And now we're going to go to the front pair and the back pair, which is strategy number 4. See what I'm saying? So we know that the 481. I said I need to know what front pairs and back, because I went through the process of eliminating stuff. So I need to know what was left and how it would be left and the best way for me to play it. The last thing was knowing what front pairs had fell and what back pairs had fell or had not fallen. And here it is. I came up with this front. Put this sheet together. I said, okay, I'm gonna do something like this. I don't even know how I came up with this. I'm telling y'all, it just must meant to be. I guess I don't know. And I don't smoke and I don't drink and I don't get high. I'm telling y'all, I know, but I ain't never been good in math, and I just came up with it. Okay. And you might have thought, I might have thought I was high. I was high on something, baby. I don't know. I wasn't high because I took it. If I was high, somebody gave it to me because I don't do none of that. Not that look, I was raised around a lot of people that indulged, and I promised myself I wasn't going to be that way. So that's how it came out for me. That's how I came goody two shoes. As they used to call us, goody two shoes. Yeah, I sure was. I wasn't going to be running around slobbing on myself and doing some stuff they was doing. But anyway, I'm getting goofy, y'all. I'm getting goofy. Let me get back on track. I forget my train of thought. Okay, this is a front pair and back pair. Front pair and back pair. The 4-8 on the front, okay. I can see. Once I circled it, I know it came in once. Then I put another check mark that I know it came in twice for the year. And here'd be a third time that 4-8 fell on the back. See what I'm saying? On average, you're only going to get about 3 hits off of any number for the whole year. But right here, pretty much, that's the averaging out a little bit. Not all of them, but you're going to see on average, because like I said, it takes 3 years for these numbers to rotate out and hit. So far, I already know that 4-8 didn't hit on the back 3 times. So I know that it's almost been played out. Its statutes of is limitation on the law average. See what I'm saying? So that's how that works. Now, I do the 4-8 on the front, and the 8-1 I'm gonna do on the back. And see, it's been hit 3 times too. I don't know if it came as 4-8-1 how many times, but I know that they both didn't hit 3 times. Like I said. Okay, now, see right here, I know what, just for Illinois, and this is pretty, not a lot of pairs left. So these are good numbers to play. The 17 ain't played on the front. The 32 haven't played on the front. The 37 haven't played on the front. The 50 haven't played on the front. And the 8-8 ain't played on the front. And then you come down here, the 2-2 hasn't failed on the back. The 39 hasn't failed on the back. 42 ain't fell on the back. The 50 hasn't failed on the back. See, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 back left. See, for the year. And then you got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 for the front for the year. So that's easy to assimilate, to realize what numbers you're going to probably put together to play as you've been tracking through the year when you win. Now, you can track them all, but you don't want to put yourself in a position trying to play them all until you win or with your budget. When you win, you ain't just playing a bunch of numbers to try to win again. You're going to go, and I may play this 170, 171, 172, 173, 174, 175, 176, all the way down to 179. Straight box.